Alright, hello everyone. So this is your first class of 4 classes for the theme of getting your split. So we are talking about sagittal scissor splits, where we are going to bring a focus on the hamstring and the hip flexor. So there's be 4 sequences that we will do in the next 4 weeks for you to achieve a lower split, whether you just want to get a bit more flexible or you have a skill that you need to acquire, such as in aerial, and you need to get a bit more flexible on your splits. So first of all, I just want to make sure that you know I am using an AI camera, so the camera might be moving around at some times, and I will sometimes need to give it some instructions by doing some hand gesture. I've also got my cat, who's apparently having the zoomies right now. Moira, I might kick her out, to be fair. But I think she's quite the entertainment during the classes. So the first session today will be fairly simple. Just bear in mind that this is accessible to every level, all right? But I will also just let you know that the intensity is going to increase. The aim as well of these classes is to try and make sure that you pick up some elements that can help you and that you start implementing them a little bit more outside. So not just the whole 45-minute class. So my classes are divided in several elements as well. So you'll have an element of basic warm-up and then mobility, so that we can mix a bit warm up and mobility, and then we're going to start doing a bit into deeper conditioning and end range conditioning, and we're going to finish with some static stretching. And these are for you to understand that when you practice the active part of the class is to warm up and to make sure you lubricate the joint, but also increase the strength at your end range. The next part is when we do the end range conditioning, you need to make sure that you are really, really warm to do this. And the static part can be done at the end of the end range conditioning, but also you can do the more easy static stretches after a workout or after an aerial class, for example. So don't go too crazy into your static stretching that we are going to do after the sessions, because we'll be appropriately warmed up. However, what I do suggest is that if you do a workout or if you go to a class, you try and practice 1 or 2 of the elements that you learn in these classes into your weekly routine. So for example, you are going to pick up some of the elements of about 20 minutes mobility and conditioning. You're going to try and apply about 10 minutes of that before your classes. And for example, after your class, you're going to implement about 10 minutes of the 20-minute sequence of a bit more end range conditioning and static stretching. So I hope that all makes sense. Obviously, this will all be explained if you are doing the course, because this course will be released soon. The Get Your Splits in 4 weeks. And in the course, you have the explanation on how to divide your structure in training. But for now, if you are just joining us and if you are completely beginner to this kind of training, welcome. Don't worry about it. I know it feels a bit scary, but it doesn't have to be scary. You'll just get used to it. All right, so the equipment that I do suggest that we all have for these sessions is a couple of core blocks or yoga blocks and a strap. So some of us will have just elastic band, which can work as well. The tension is going to feel different, but because I want to make sure we keep everything quite basic, I want to stick to a strap and a couple of blocks. Maybe in the future we'll add a few more pieces of equipment because they are quite helpful to increase flexibility as well. I also do use a knee pad just because I have got very, very soft knees myself, and I just need to be careful. So sometimes it's nice to double up your mat or just use a little bit of a piece of clothes or anything that just feels that you can pad a little bit the knees. All right, so let's get ourselves started. We're going to start just doing a tiny bit of warm-up and mobilization. I want you to just simply start yourself into some scapula lunges. You're going to step back and bring that leg forward. Yeah, go backward. We're going to in. So again, today We are going to spend about half an hour together. Yes, keep going, keep doing. What is my cat doing? While I check on my naughty and 2 and 1. Ooh, beautiful. Here, bend, moving a little bit forward, and we're moving back. So you want to hinge from your hip bone. You bend the knees and try and like twirl your bum out and back. All right, warm up. Good. 2 more. And last one. We're going to stay here and take a little squat. We're going to stay leaning forward. If you struggle already, you can hold on to the box here. Yes, 4, 3, woo, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Come back up and shake it off. All right, fantastic. Yes, babe. She's looking at me like I'm crazy when she's the one who's been crazy for the last 15 minutes. Isn't it? She's been fed. All right, fantastic. We're gonna start taking ourselves a little bit down. All right, so I'm just gonna direct, hopefully. Come on, babe. There we go. All right, so we're gonna put the left foot forward, the right foot back, and we're going to a lower lunge. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna start using here. All right, so we're gonna start using blocks. I like to have mine on the high sitting right here, and I'm going to frame that foot. So gently, I'm just gonna start moving forward and backwards. Yeah, so look at front. No. Keep going. Stop it. Ow. So feel the aim here to really open the front of that thigh here. So quite a few people, they kind of arching and not really try and get that hip a bit more forward. What I'm going you to do is straighten that leg back and then drop that knee down. Straighten that leg back, ease that knee down. Again, find that. So we're starting to condition a little bit more here. 2 more. And last one. We're going to try and keep the leg straight, and you're going to bounce from the hip. So try and keep the leg straight and you bounce up and down from the hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Good. Try and take a little bit of a deeper stretch here. Release the foot. All right. Let yourself go a little bit deeper and start kicking yourself a little bit higher. So try and find a deeper low lunge. So feel that hip coming a bit lower. Beautiful. We're going to start taking the blocks a bit more forward and lean over the left thigh. Now, I'm just going to keep flexing here. We're just find closely. So avoid kind of like rounding that thigh. All right. So you have the option to keep the hands on the blocks, or also hug the thigh here. You're not coming off. And get straight to do this. So I can straight my leg like that. Keep going long. Yeah. Keep is to your thigh. way. This is more challenging in terms of balance. So you see my foot here is trying to balance a bit more. 2 more. Really press through the foot. Up. Good. How we can progress through. First, we'll do a bit more of getting into lead. From here, yes, we go forward and back. Yes, again, find that hip. Beautiful. 1. Lovely. Let's do the quick key. Stay on tuck and stop. Try and focus on really squeezing the thigh so much that it stays quite strongly on the hip as well here. Yes, we're not like dropping, stay quite active. Good. And 3. And 2. As well. And 1. 8, 7. 4, 3, 2, and drop it down, release, and let yourself and look into your stretch. Just calm down and go on the sofa. Yes, try and like really get that hip to move forward. Don't think so much down because you can kind of get a bit too much into your lower back. Good. Slow onto the, again, like get your hands forward. Stay up here. Think about lengthening your forward. Increase. Here we're gonna really like we're gonna hop. Stage like all stretch already. Also, if you do have hypermobility knee and hyperflexibility, but rather work the hamstring a bit more. Yeah. See, I'm not rounding it as well. Down to down. Yeah, especially if you tend to with that hip to go into the thigh. And very nice. The sequence, that's your warm up and your mobility basic conditioning. Now we're going to start going into a little bit of a another sequence, which is conditioning and a bit of end range. Yes, so this is like a bit more difficult, so we increasing the intensity of our training. So this is the easy part. If you feel like you just want to do this as a warm-up, then this is actually quite good already. It's better to do a little bit than do nothing at all. So that's where you can stop the sequence, for example. Also with left and right, you can move on where we're going to use the straps. So you're going to start moving down onto our mats. Rolling down. Again, we keep quite for the neck. So here, we're going to just really there. And then the right foot up. You're going to place the band or your strap. So again, it's a little bit better if it's a strap, if it's solid. Yeah, just so you know. All right. So from here, just let yourself take a little bit of a stretch here. So again, if you have got hypermobility, just be mindful during this. Or doing this, we're trying to work the muscles that support the joint, okay? So we want to simply move a bit into a ballistic stretch, yeah? Also, don't go too intense. That's not the point. The point is to find, like, the name of the exercise, ballistic, the ballistic point of your muscle, where it can do back and forth quite comfortably without tearing or without over straining it. Yes, we want to strain them up. We're still going slow. Good. 3. And we're gonna come here. We're gonna try and the sequence. Now you want to try and find a bit more tension here. So it's almost like PBB, except my knee to the side. Put my thigh and my knee to the chest. Also try and not lift off the ground here. We're going to actually try and push that tailbone and sacrum, the bony part of your hip, into the ground. Okay? So you should feel almost like a weird, like a pinch in terms of contraction. Painful, but you feel the pinch contraction of your hip flexor at the junction of your thigh here. All right, we're going to start working strength. So ideally, the sole of the foot is facing up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. You're going to keep pulling a little bit more. And then we're going to start pushing up. So if I didn't pay attention to what I was doing, my foot would be doing this. But we are pulling backwards, and you want to push the foot. You see what's happening in my tailbone is because I push, like I'm doing a leg press motion, I can feel my hamstring and my hip flexor working really hard here in my glute. So I'm like tucking that tailbone down, pushing that foot towards the ceiling. We'll hold for 3, we'll hold for 2, and deep inhale here. And try and pull that thigh a bit closer. So we start to and call the functional range conditioning. We're starting to get a little bit deeper into your nervous system. So we're starting to engage now. All right, so we're still in that contraction. Yeah, with now, again. And contract the belly a little bit. Find your core. 5, 4. Try and find a deeper intensity each second. 2, and release. 1, and try again to bring that thigh closer to you. Try and like not feel too contracted here. Obviously, we're still quite active. We do one more round here and push. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and pull. Beautiful. Nice. That hip flexion's worked really well. Yeah. As you get used to practicing like this, you will see like your body responding a lot better to this exercise. Yeah. So at the beginning, maybe you're going to be here, and then with each round, you're going to feel a bit closer, but not by much. But as your body start getting used to this type of training, you start seeing progress a little bit faster. Yeah. Okay. So back to the ballistic now. We should feel a bit looser. Ooh. Again, extension of the knee. More. And 1. Good. All right. Okay. Here, you're gonna take a deeper sequence. Yeah. So we're still conditioning gently. Yes. Bend and hold the left. So let's go up and down. Again, gentle ballistic here. Now you should feel the difference as well between each side. 2. Last one. All right, let's start flex the foot and bring that hip. Yeah, so try and find that little tuck. Oof, that top of the thigh into the belly, that hip bone getting into the thigh. You really want to close that junction here, that gap, that crease here. So first, again, we get into the position, we hold there for a little bit. The kind of little hack that I tend to give to my students is to not overthink about what you're feeling. I like to think what I'm feeling, but not in a way where I need to focus too strongly on it, because your body is just focused on how you feel, and sometimes you're going to find a bit more resistance than stretch. So try and feel yourself melt into the pose when we go static. We're going to start pushing into the band. So we're going to push up, remember. Now, because this is my left side, it's not my dominant side, I have to concentrate a bit more on contracting my glute, contracting my hamstring, because it's not activating the same way. And release. When you release, the aim is to try and take it 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, 5 millimeters, 1 centimeter a little closer. You don't have to try and pull it like crazy, but you don't want to come back where you started. You want to keep going down and closer and closer and closer. That's the secret here. Let's start pushing again. We push and we contract. Drop that tailbone towards the ground. Drop that hip bone on the floor. The glutes contracting. 3, 2. You see here, 1, you want to relax more into that pull. So that thigh is getting closer and closer with each set. Relax here. 1 more breath. And let's start pushing a little bit more. 3, 2, and try and pull to your max here. Really get that max flexion here. Beautiful. You're gonna straighten that leg again, and you feel a lot easier. 2, 1. Beautiful. Release. Good. So this time now you take the left, the end range condition, and flexor. So right, you can have it there, just or you can move on and make it nice. So the right. You see here, we're going to straighten the left leg, try and keep it slightly active, not just like sleepy. We're going to start taking that stretch here a little bit deeper. So again, no locking of the knee, but you want to keep that leg straight here. Perfect. Now you're going to start pushing the foot in the band again. So push the foot against the band. You're going to hold for 10, 8. You see my left leg kind of automatically lifts a little bit. You can lift that left leg a little bit. 3, really extend it. 2 and 1. And as you relax, take that leg a little bit closer. Beautiful. Try and relax the belly. Yeah, so when we do the active, you can straighten and really point that leg away from you here, because we're trying to extend both legs away from each other. Let's start pushing again into the strap for 10 seconds and squeeze that left leg, squeeze that left glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg closer. So never go back to where you were. We don't go back to where we were. We don't relax up. We relax down. Yeah? And raise. We're going deeper and deeper and deeper. We strengthen and we stretch. We strengthen and we stretch. 1 more round here. Deep inhale. Exhale. And let's start pushing again. Last round. Try and increase the intensity. Really push. Point the toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Stretch to your max. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hold stretch next. So we enter a difficult but necessary static stretch. We're going to try and relax here for that seconds. Close my eyes here and not think too much about it. Think about other things than how difficult it is to hold that stretch. Yeah. If you're shaking, take it a little bit back. Yeah, it's okay to shake a little bit, but not all the time when you're trying to stretch. Slowly release. Nice. Woo. Again, if you're not getting as close to me as me, that's fine. Yeah, this is something I do 2-3 times a week. So obviously, and I teach this 2-3 times a week. So that is normal for me to feel that my reach and my response and my leg will come quite close each time I do the set. Yeah. But remember that time for university to get used to it. We're gonna do the other leg. Oh, so again, I would not suggest that you do this one if you're not warm. Yeah, you need to be adequately warm. Ideally, maybe after a dance class, something that really works the joints quite deeply. All right, so just do that stretch for a moment. You can see my left leg is not as happy. Multiple injuries on that leg, so I also recommend you to really try and breathe in the pelvic region and in your belly. What I've noticed myself is when I resist the stretch, my belly tenses up, my core tenses up. Because when we do a hip flexion, obviously, yeah, we kind of use the core as well, especially if you do aerial. We do use the core quite a bit. So we use the core and the hip flexor, but the trick here is to try and actually relax the belly. I want to meet you. Not push it down, just relax it. Good, so we're gonna start the activation here. We're gonna start pushing the foot and the leg up and hold for 10 and squeeze that right leg away as well. 5, 4, it's definitely not activating the same way. 2, and 1. Good, a little bit closer. And again, push. Yeah, so start getting into also your flow here, feeling, pushing. You see again, lifting the leg, my tailbone still pushes down. 2, 1, release. Oh, I'm sorry. And let's push one last time. 10, 4, and 1. And pull that leg and try and stretch again. 30 seconds here. Again, slow breath, belly releases. This kind of stretch is my training. I want to meet you again. Can we take this from the start? And slowly come back out. Very nice. So we've done a bit more functional and range, a bit of stretch. With I just didn't realize that my phone notifications are popping. Computer. Okay. So finish with the hip flexor one. Yeah, so obviously we've done the hip flexion here, but now we want to try and work the hip flexion stretch. Yeah, so we've done enough of the hamstring. So we're going to go back to where we started earlier. No.
Hey, I just saw your text.
We're going to grab.
I'm in this party.
It's getting to the end of the day, and I'm like
Same without you.
feeling a bit more relaxed as well. So I hope that you feel relaxed as well, that it's kind of got you to relax a bit more. So we're going to finish with hip activation. So this is what we did for the hamstring, but we're going to do with the hip flex. Okay, so we're going to take it forward again. I'm going to place my little foam knee pad. And we're going to sink down to our lunge. Very nice. So from here, what we want to try and create in order to feel is traction between that knee, almost like we want to do this. So we want to try to actually contract our this towards each other for 3. What I'm going to do from here, keep that contraction. You see how straight I am? It's going to move again. There we go. I'm trying so hard to not jet. And you're going to slowly move forward, forward. Try not to think forward. Traction between the foot. Traction, 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 traction. Hold here. 3, 2. I'm also making fists, not just because of the gesture from my camera, but it actually activates the nervous system a bit more. Now hands back on the block. You should feel like a little bit looser already. And we're going to go again. This time I'm going to make it harder by taking that left foot a bit more forward. So again, I can go quite deep because I'm used to doing this exercise, but for you that might be just a tad. Good. So from here, take the block a little bit closer to you, and then we're going to start again. Create traction, exhale, and squeeze the glute as well. 6, 5. Start lifting the arm. Find your core. Find your core. You see, like I'm like really tucking that tailbone under and engaging my core here. Move forward. Slowly. Keep knee. It's just trying to understand the concept of activation. We're not dumping, we're not relaxing here. Every muscle fiber is contracting here in our body. Yeah, so you see that's passive. We need to stay active through the exercise. Oh, doing one more. The foot comes a little bit more forward, so we're getting a little bit more into this sort of half split. You see, like trying to get that leg and also finding the stability and the strength. Beautiful. Let's start pushing. This is our condition. Contract. Squeeze and contract. 4. Here, 3. Foot as well. 1. Slowly lift up. Bring hands. Find that contraction. Find that activation before we even move forward. Move forward. Forward. Very. That back straight as much as possible. Keep tucking that tailbone under as much as possible. Find your end range. Active end range here, not passive. Passive. We're not stretching. We're not stretching. And release passive. Ooh. It's quite intense. I like it. Other. Thinking about active and passive, not just going. You really need to create this traction between the leg, and you want to try and like really squeeze and tuck because we create this reciprocal inhibition. Okay, we squeeze the glute, we tuck the tailbone, we open the opposite muscle. Yeah, reciprocal inhibition will open the opposite muscle and one contracts. Let's do with our split stretch. Beautiful. Whew. Okay, so we start easy. Yeah, just regular coming. So you should feel quite sore already. Yeah, that leg does feel sore. Yeah, hit that hip. So but we find that depth a little bit here. Deep inhale. Exhale, we're gonna push and tuck. And the knee. Let's press and traction. Squeeze the glute, squeeze the glute. Slowly take your arms up. So I'm pretty much in a lunge here. Really like squeeze my tailbone under, whole body, and I move forward. From the traction, it's the foot that drags me forward. That traction here. 4, 3, very slowly, very controlled. 2, and range conditioning. And hold a little bit at the bottom of your range. Contract the thigh and release. We also do this exercise where we move slowly down. It's called an eccentric neural grooving, which is if you do a bit of weightlifting, it's your descending phase, your control. So because we don't have a barbell on the shoulders, we're not holding a weight, we have to create that stimulus by ourselves. So that's why that traction with the foot and the knee helps. The foot a bit more forward, create bigger depth for the hip flexor. Bring the blocks a little bit closer to you. And in. And let's squeeze. Create that traction around your back. And slowly rise up. So like stack your spine. Bring the arm. It's harder for me to balance on this side. You can see I'm like a bit shaky. And slowly there forward, yeah? So it's the right foot at the front that drags that hip forward because it's create that traction. 3, 2. Don't let go, just stay active here. Press that foot, that traction. And woo! Yeah, this side is definitely, my left leg definitely struggles a little bit more. Go one more round. We got this. Then we just have one more deep stretch to do. So yeah, so these exercises are the ones that are definitely going to make you progress faster than just static stretching or just a little bit of mobility, yeah? So you have to do the conditioning. Ooh, let's start again. Last one. Let's push. Like under. Ooh. Slowly rise. Bring the arms up. On the last stretch here. Yeah, kind of aligned with the back knee. Slowly move forward. Oh my god, hands. Really done hips yesterday, so hold at your max, hold at your max, and here, so more half split. Breathe. Oh my god, this side is definitely not responding as positively. I'm trying to not use negative language here, bad side, good side, especially since my poor legs are lying to myself. So that is the really properly harness a lot of strength here, and for a lot of them to start trusting you going deeper in your stretch. Right, so to finish, because it's the first session that we do, I want to try and feel relaxed. So now that we've done all the activation, this is time for the last segment of this session, which is to simply take yourself wherever you are in your splits and you stay there. Build the stamina and build the tolerance. Just has a very strong response in your joints and in your have an organ which control feeling the weight, you know, and not applying the same amount of stress or just the hand and different weight adaptation, and also spindles respond to tension and release. So it's important to try also after about, most people are beginning after about a minute and a half, we get into, you don't want to get into the stretch reflex too quickly, because actually you have warm up, if you haven't strengthened, if you stretch reflex without having the strength, you will hurt yourself in the long term. But after this, you are able, when you're warmed up range, you're able to go a little bit more into the lovely stretch. So for instance, 45 seconds to a minute today. If you really feel this is a bit too much for you, you're lying down split, pulling the leg and holding it there like earlier. That's also an option. I'm going to move forward here. What I like to do is coming back a little bit into this lovely sort of half split with my straight leg at the front, and then I start just lowering myself again into my hip flexor. I take a moment here, I take about 10-20 seconds to release that hip flexion, and I'm going to start flexing the heel and gently slide down. So I'm at the end of my day, it's been long and I'm very sore from my week, so my splits are not necessarily going to feel the greatest today. A minute is maybe pointing and straightening the leg a little bit more. Too far forward, and keep your hip as well. As well. And just find release. So right at the beginning, you don't necessarily need to go like too long. Just find your point of relaxation here where you know you can still, when you start coming down or when you start moving or where you feel like you want to come back up, come back up. It's a bit unnecessary. Otherwise, once again, like I was saying, once you find resistance in your body and resistance in your mind, the discomfort is not going to be productive or conducive to any progress in that flexibility. But just take it back, yeah. It's like everything else. You wouldn't do 100 reps of squat from the first time you do this move. So we have to build the tolerance to the stretch. Let's go in the other side. So we're going to straighten the leg at the front. You're going to move slowly down into the half split. Grab onto your block. Getting a little bit more of that leg. Find a bit more of active here, the same way we did the exercise. Find a bit of strength before you start flexing. And oof, yeah, go slow. Let your body on with the breath, with the relaxation. Just find your breath here, find that relaxation. We're almost there. And oh. Ooh, well, I felt that. Fantastic. There we go. And that was your 45 minutes of class. Obviously, I hope that the first instructions kind of helped you because it's important for you to understand how we're going to progress through those 4 weeks, okay? And it's nice of you to try and follow those 4 weeks, and each week when you go away before the next class, try and practice a few segments of the class today throughout the week until you do the next class. So try and not do the next classes day after day. Try and actually practice this class for a week and then move on to the week after, because we're going to do another segment, another few segments of different exercises that are going to be a bit more intense. So it's important to build that tolerance and that habit first, and then you start stepping it up. And by week 4, you should feel you have a bit more of a response towards finding your splits. But I want to thank you for joining me today, and I really hope that you enjoyed and learned in this class, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.